Dark Future the Dream SMP. I heard that there was a game theory on Dream SMP. And literally, my only part is that he start out Little Penis Land. I don't think my avatar or anything was even in it at all. Watch it? I guess I can watch it. Isn't the theory that, like, someone will resurrect Schlatt or something? Bitch, MattPatt, I really want to be the one that does it just so I can be like, MattPatt, you should have fucking mentioned me, you son of a bitch. You should have fucking thought harder about it. It was gonna be me the whole time. Matthew Patrick. Listen up, buddy. Maybe next time don't forget fucking Connor eats pants in the Dream SMP. Your theory was wrong, bitch. It's me. I write the lore. Spoilers. What the fuck is this? What is this opening? Oh my god. This is actually a slapper. This song does slap.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game
Did he get a new
Theory,
mic?
the show that's like a baby zombie, small and unassuming, but persistent and dangerous. Today, I'm here to talk about the Dream SMP. And now that I've said that, I'm sure that all of my viewers probably fall into one of two camps. Those yelling, "At last, our prayers are answered," and those that are wondering what the heck I'm talking about. So at this point,
It's
if you
like,
care at
do
all
you know about
Minecraft
ad
or
revenue?
YouTube or Minecraft YouTubers, you've probably heard of a guy named Dream. He's become famous for a lot of things, including manhunt videos, unsolved mystery videos, as well as an appearance on one of this channel's very own Minecraft lore videos.
What?
Why is there a big
Force
neon
Insanity.
green block creature in my video? But one of the things that's really blown up over the course
The
of the
Two of
last year
Cards?
is the Dream SMP, or Survival Multiplayer Server. So you might be thinking, survival multiplayer server, so it's just Dream playing Minecraft with a lot of
Where's
his friends.
me?
And,
Who the
well,
fuck are
yeah,
these people?
Sort of. The truth is that the Dream SMP is to Minecraft survival multiplayer what professional wrestling is to, well, the sport of wrestling, which is to say it's structured improv. There's a story here made by a team of writers. Yeah, writers plural. It's not to say that everyone's reading from a script. While the broad strokes of the plot are planned out, all of the connective tissue between those
Bro,
major
if only
plot
he
beats
knew.
is improvised. And of course, there's room for plenty of unexpected gameplay moments. No. My thing!
That wasn't in the script. That wasn't in the script. That wasn't in the script. Just wait. That wasn't in the script.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the world of professional wrestling, that is what we call a shoot, or a moment in professional wrestling that's unplanned, unscripted, or just an actual.
That actually
real-life
is a good
occurrance.
comparison.
Am I ruining this for anyone in the audience? We all
No,
know
that
that
actually
professional
is a good
wrestling
guy.
scripted,
I
right?
was
Trying to
ready to make
summarize
fun of
the
him.
timeline
That
the
actually is a
Dream
fair
SMP
comparison,
like trying to
Matthew.
summarize the timeline
Good
of
for
the
you.
20th century.
Congrats
If I
on
tried to
trending
start
on
it, I'd
Twitter.
have to cover the birth of a nation in no fewer than 4 separate wars. And that's not me making a joke or trying to make an analogy here. A lot of the story here is political in nature, with the ongoing narrative being one of a nation in
Should Jay
turmoil,
Schlatt in
with
this
warring
one?
political factions trying to gain power over the populace by any means necessary. And all of it is taking place within live streams. Lots and lots of very long live streams.
Am I in
There
there?
have been over
I
30
don't think
people
so.
involved in this thing, with the narrative playing out over hundreds of hours of live streaming. Actually, just saying hundreds of hours is understating it, because totaling up all the live streams across multiple channels.
I wonder if this
seeing
video
POV
did
of
something for
multiple
the server.
participants
'Cause, I mean, they
already
were
gives you
hitting
close
new
to
numbers this
100
week.
videos to watch, and any one of those could be upwards of 6 to 8 hours.
Wonder if this,
in
like,
length.
grew Dream
It feels
SMP at all
almost
to a new
impossible
audience.
catch up with this thing too, considering how often new live streams are happening. Seriously, I feel like I have to put a disclaimer here that the script for this video is being written right before Christmas, which almost guarantees that by the time it comes out, the things I'm predicting have either been proven right or horribly
Bill
wrong.
had 100
At the same time, I
keys, man.
could not talk about this
I think I
thing.
had 800.
It was without
Maybe I
question
should
the
stream those
biggest thing
events.
happening in gaming
And
in
I can't,
2020
because if I
is
did,
behind
I'd
Among
try to
Us,
insert
a group
myself
of
too much,
friends
and it doesn't
blowing
work
up
like
together
that.
on Twitch because they're using Minecraft to create an ongoing improv narrative is incredible and absolutely worthy of attention. Plus,
I don't
want
wanna
to
be the background character just streaming, like, the worst camera view.
I didn't want to ignore you guys.
It's kind of like when, like, you, like,
MattPatt, by the way.
have, like, if you're, like, watching a sports broadcast, and it's like, if you want to see the alternate camera angle, go over here. It's like, no one's going there. It's like, I'm gonna watch the fucking main character, dude. Want to see me sit here and read subs while be like, what the fuck's going on?
Plus, I'm a musical theater nerd. I hear a Hamilton reference, I like it.
I practice law. Wilbur. Work next
Nosebleed
door.
section.
Even though we started at the very same time, Tommy
My
in it
chat's
began to
nosebleeds.
decline. How to account for his rise to the top.
Man, the Hamilton references are non-stop. And since we are on
Nosebleed
the subject
section.
of Hamilton the musical actually provides a really good framework for how to approach telling a story with the scope of everything that's happening in the Dream SMP. Much like Hamilton took
What
a
the
series
fuck
of
is Hamilton doing
history-defining
here?
events spanning several decades and condensed it down into a 3-hour musical character study, this theory is going to be taking a series of events spanning several months of 6+ hour long live streams and condense it down into, well, something kind of resembling a character study centering on one specific hero. And spoilers for those of you who don't know the ending of Hamilton, but this story also ends in tragedy.
Oh,
in short,
no.
today's video is all about who history has had its eyes on and who you should have your eyes on going forward in the Dream SMP.
Tommy.
And spoiler alert, he's already dead. And with that intro, allow me to tell you the tragic tale of the rise and fall of a tyrant and why he might be poised to rise once
Jay
again.
Schlatt.
This time from beyond the grave. For a bit of background, there are several major factions
Man, I'm
that
really
exist within the
gonna
Dream SMP. The
really push
largest of
myself
which
to be the one
is,
that resurrects him, if
confusingly
only
enough,
just to
named
fuck
Dream
over
SMP.
MattPatt.
For the sake of clarity, most have taken to referring to this faction as the Greater Dream SMP, and I'm gonna follow their lead. It's the closest thing to being a neutral faction, almost a sort of default faction for the characters who haven't split off to do their own thing. As you might guess, it's led by its founder, Dream. Dream also gets executive
Dream.
veto over who's allowed in the server. For instance, back in July, when Jay Schlatt joined the server for the first time, he was banned very shortly after, since Dream didn't know him. When it's your party, you get to decide who's on the guest list, I suppose. The first major faction to declare its independence from the Greater Dream
That's right
SMP
into the
was
lore.
L'Manberg, back in late July, with the war for independence between L'Manberg and the Dream Team faction finally settling in early August. L'Manberg started as an autocratic
Does MattPatt
nation
think that was,
state
like,
with
part of the-
self-appointed dictator,
You know what, never mind.
President Wilbur
I'll let
Suit,
MattPatt have
presiding
his
with
fun.
Tommy in it as his right-hand man. However, that dictator for
MattPatt
life
is-
thing didn't really pan
is
out
on
long
Stan
term.
Twitter, dude.
After all, a ruler only rules by the
He's-
consent of the governed.
he's with him.
And
He's
despite
like,
the
we're
fact that
debating
Wilbur
the
Suit
lore.
had declared himself supreme leader, the citizens weren't taking his orders all that seriously. So what do you do if you want to shore up legitimacy as a ruler? You hold a democratic election.
I was gonna
I'm
say
running
you
for
remove
president. The reason
democracy,
I'm running
but
for president
alright.
is because, well, I felt like it was unfair of me to decide myself to be a dictator.
Okay, so maybe if you want to believe the man himself, it was because he grew a conscience. Anyway, Wilbur Soot, joined by Tommy Innit as his running mate, ran as the politicians
yeah,
of
yo,
gaming,
write this
or
down.
POG for short. The problem with democratic elections is that, well, people can run against you. Quackity, who'd been up to that point a L'Manberg outsider, decided to run against him because, well, you've got to have yourself an opposition party.
My name is Quackity, and I am running for president simply because I didn't think it was fair for Wilbur Soot to run a one-party democratic election, or so democratic as he wants to
I
call
love
it.
Tommy's
It's very
serious. You
unfair
can
to
tell.
Will
You can tell when Tommy's like committed to like the script or like the outline of what needs to be done in the stream because he has this face. Tommy has his "I need to make sure this is going right" face.
Party democratic election, or so democratic as he wants to call it. It's very unfair for Wilbur and all the people in L'Manberg to vote for just one party.
Quackity ran under the party banner of "So We Are Gamers," or
Piss champ
SWAG for
focus.
short, choosing George Not Found as his running mate, who promptly lived up to his name by failing to show up to the presidential debate. Way to have a brand.
That was also, I don't think,
right,
written
presidential
to my
debate. The parties
knowledge.
of SWAG 2020 and POG 2020 ran full-on campaigns, including.
Bro, you know that like people like your normal guy, right? Your everyman that maybe plays games here and there, maybe plays Call of Duty, a little bit of Mario, still watches game theory here and there because it's solid entertainment. I like video games. They clicked on this video and they're like, "What the actual fuck is going on?" They see this on the screen and they're like, "What has happened? What happened to?"
endorsement.
society.
Quackity
Like, what-
was at an immediate disadvantage.
What are the
here,
kids
as his
watching?
One key alleged endorsement, KSI, never actually showed up.
My one endorsement is KSI. He just hasn't happened to responded yet to my endorsement plea. He's my one endorsement.
KSI? More like KSI Not Found. Him and George Not Found playing Yahtzee in the corner. Wilbur and Tommy Innit,
Good
wanting
one,
to assure the
MattPatt.
voters that they were the party that best represented the will of the people, touted several key endorsements. The most notable of them came from Jay Schlatt. Now, you might be asking yourself, wait, Jay Schlatt, didn't I just say that he was was banned back in July, several months before the election took place. And that was what the crowd said too. But apparently a server ban wasn't about to stop Wilbur and Tommy from bringing him in to deliver the key endorsement.
Now, after doing a lot of negotiations,
Get out of
boys,
here. I've got
managed
my
to...
endorsement. Here he comes. The one, the only.
He's back in town!
Except Jay Schlatt's
There he
endorsement
is.
speech went very quickly off the rails.
Democracy is overrated. You
The
think
script,
you need a president? I'll be my own president.
Stick to the script. Off the stage, please. Off the stage.
Anyway,
Kanye
with this
and
wild
Kim are
card
divorcing?
entering the race,
Okay, but
things
Dream
had thoroughly
SMP,
gone
dude.
to chaos. With Jay Schlatt actually challenging him, Wilbur and Tommy decided to resort to political horse trading. In order to avoid the possibility of a Jay Schlatt presidency, why not invite Swag 2020 to join Pog 2020 to form a giant super party, Swag? A fusion
What the
event so
fuck?
great that it would be guaranteed
What
to
the
beat Jay
fuck?
Schlatt. Unfortunately, it backfired. The good news was that Quackity, who didn't actually want to be president and was only running as a challenger to Wilbur, was willing to give his party's votes to another party. The bad news was that he chose Jay Schlatt.
I
What
was
the
enticed by your
fuck?
swag idea until you immediately admitted to me that you would only use me for votes. You guys have clearly been trying to use me this entire time. So it's Schlatt 2020.
Huh, it's the kind of thing that makes you think maybe from the start that this was all a ruse by Jay
Did
Schlatt,
MattPatt have to
promising
watch all
endorse
this?
Pog 2020,
Did he
only
write
get
this
himself
one?
unbanned and then enter the fray and take over for himself. The man over here is executing some epic big
He
brain
did write
maneuvers.
this one.
In the end, Pog 2020 won 45% of the vote.
MattPatt
Swag
did his
2020
work.
won 30% of the vote. Jay Schlatt won 16% of the vote. With Swag giving its votes to Jay Schlatt wins the election with a combined total of 46%, barely beating out Pog's 45%. And that is where the reign of terror begins. Jay Schlatt, having effectively hijacked the democratic process, decided that it was time to run the old party out of town.
My first decree as the president of Lemanburg, the emperor of this great country, is to revoke the citizenship of Wilbur Soot and Tommy Innit.
Get him out of here.
Wilbur Soot and Tommy Innit were exiled.
Wilbur's acting has really improved. I'm sorry, I love Wilbur. He's gotten better. Look at this.
Citizenship of Wilbur Soot and Tommy Innit. Get him out of here.
Wilbur Soot and Tommy Innit were exiled. The Pog 2020 campaign was no more, but it lived on in spirit within the nation of Pogtopia, building their own secret base of operations and working with a few members of the administration who managed to avoid exile.
Connor eats
That's
pants.
right, they had a spy on the inside of Jay Schlatt's
It's not me.
operation, and that spy's
not me.
name was Tubbo. Despite winning the election, Jay Schlatt wasn't really winning over the people. You know, calling democracy a lie.
This is actually really
immediately
helpful for me.
exiling half the population.
I
and
actually
bringing
needed
too
this.
many friends. So to get a
'Cause
few
I didn't know what the
popularity
fuck
points,
happened
he
on the
began
server until
planning
now.
the Manberg Festival as a celebration of democracy, with Tubbo to plan the events and deliver the keynote speech. Tubbo and the old guard
taking
seized
notes.
the opportunity to upstage the festival by placing TNT under the event stage. All Tubbo had to do
Oh my
was to give
God.
his speech and run away before the TNT went off, but Jay Schlatt had other plans.
Hmm.
Our people have been beaten down by royals and dictators for so long. Now we are finally free. Free to elect who we want. Free to live how we want. I'd like to thank
What are you watching?
everyone
I
for
just
coming to
came.
this wonderful event. What's wrong, Schlatt?
Minecraft.
No, it's just, I was just thinking about it, Tubbo.
Nothing sinister at all about that laugh. By the end of the speech, Jay Schlatt had encased the undercover spy Tubbo in yellow concrete, sentencing him to immediate execution.
Let me do something real quick.
Okay.
Schlatt, what are you?
yeah.
Schlatt, what are you doing?
Tubbo,
Yeah.
I know what you've been up to.
Actually,
With the tyrants that we kicked out of this server, that we kicked out of this great country. Do you know what
Wait, where
happens
is
to,
this? I actually don't know where
traitors,
this is in the
Tubbo was
world.
sentenced to death by
never been
rocket
here.
launcher, with Tubbo's ally Technoblade
Don't know where that
being the
area
one to
is.
serve as executioner. There was a little accidental collateral damage with Jay Schlatt also dying in the
Lemanberg.
explosion. But don't worry, he got better. Across all of these events, one thing should be painfully clear. Jay Schlatt is, in D&D terms, totally lawful evil. Wilbur Soot, not the character, but the out-of-character writer, who's the closest thing we have to a creative authority for this chapter of the SMP, confirmed in a Reddit post, quote, Schlatt is very lawful evil. Schlatt follows one creed. I was elected fairly. I will rule until I lose the next election. He uses this power malevolently to assert dominance and punish rebellious factions.
It's scripted.
Emphasis on punishment. Schlatt isn't very concerned with keeping order or even maintaining justice.
As
His priority is
far as I
delivering
know, that was
suffering-
literally Wilbur at like 3 a.m. typing on his phone, replying the Reddit comments, be like, "Yeah, this is it.
and pain to those
But yeah,
he sees as deserving
it's
it under
canon
the law.
now.
Now, after this failed attempt at insurgency, it was only
canon
inevitable
to
that
me.
Jay Schlatt's Manberg would go to war with Pogtopia, with
Probably
Jay
canon.
Schlatt's reign of terror coming to an end in the most anticlimactic way possible, running away from the fighting, stumbling into the hot dog van that originally served as the nexus for Wilbur Soot and Tommy and its drug empire, getting drunk and experiencing what appeared to be a stroke or a heart attack.
Anybody smell toast?
For those of you who don't know, smelling toast is actually a classic symptom of having a stroke. Anyway, the much beloved leader
Only
received a
MattPatt
massive
got
funeral, with
Schlatt's
everyone behaving
joke.
with exactly the
Literally
level of
none
reverence
of the
and
Dream
decorum that you'd
SMP
expect
viewers
them to show
got
for
that
Jay
joke
Schlatt.
at all. MattPatt watched it and was like,
What
oh,
remains
I
weren't
get it.
taken as souvenirs were recovered by Quackity as part of a plot of his own.
I have a plan. Within my possession are all 5 of Jay Schlatt's bones. I busted that grave open and I took it.
Wait, you're gonna try and bring Jay Schlatt back to life?
We bring Jay Schlatt back to life. But you know what Frankenstein did when he brought Frankenstein 2 back to life? Frankenstein 2 was under his command. You know what this means? We can use Jay Schlatt as a political puppet.
Quackity, did you actually read the book? Because if your takeaway was Frankenstein
But
animated
actually-
the monster and it was completely under his control and totally did
You
not
should read
backfire
this
at
thread,
all,
Quackity,
you
and get
might wanna read a
informed.
few of those chapters again. So with that level setting out of the way, what follows are my predictions about the future of the Dream SMP, and it all centers around one man in particular. First off, in case it wasn't obvious, we haven't seen the last of Jay Schlatt. And I'm not just talking about his appearance as a ghost in a live stream of questionable canonicity.
Is this like part of the plot that you
Wait.
guys script?
It's pretty. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. How are you doing?
He's been too big a player
But
for
that
far
was-
too long.
he
to
was on
simply
my
be written
stream.
out of existence.
He was
More
on my
importantly,
stream.
The groundwork has been laid for his eventual
wasn't-
resurrection.
he didn't
Wilbur
mention
Soot
it, but
mentioned on a live stream that the team was
made
playing
with
the idea
Flixer.
that each character
That's not
gets
how I
3
stream,
canon
actually.
deaths before it's considered permanent.
Everyone gets 3
Everyone gets 3 canon deaths.
before they real life die, yes.
Even if we count Jay Schlatt's death during the festival rocket
pretty sure
launcher
that was just
explosion as
Wilbur
canon,
said.
between that
It
and
is
his heart
canon
attack
now.
slash stroke,
But
he's yet
it's
to use
just
up all his
reminding me how,
lines.
like, so many of
Besides,
these
this is
rules
too
are just
good of an
made up.
opportunity for
You
history
just
to
make 'em up,
repeat
and then now
itself
we're
in
stuck with 'em.
absolutely poetic
And it works.
fashion. Because while Jay Schlatt is lawful evil and motivated to punish people for going against him, his role as Punisher is much more central than that. Jay Schlatt is almost like a karmic force of the universe who punishes people for their hubris.
What
Remember,
the
the entire
fuck?
reason he was able to rejoin the server in the first place was because the POG 2020 party thought it would be politically advantageous for them to receive his endorsement. They looked to use Jay Schlatt as a tool to achieve their own
What the
political ends, and it
fuck?
backfired horribly, leading to
Matthew.
them not only losing the election, but being forced into exile by the monster they had helped to create, ultimately leading to an all-out war against the faction that he usurped from them. And now we have ourselves a cackling Quackity saying that he
Please
plans to
go
use the
back
powers
to
of
variety.
necromancy to reanimate Schlatt as a political puppet, so now he can seize control of Manberg.
Oh, of
Quackity,
course.
have you learned nothing? Based on the comment about Frankenstein's monster, the answer seems to be yes. It's my view that Jay Schlatt, more than being
True.
a mere villain
Canceled.
here, is really more like a force of nature, something that people have and will continue to try and harness for their own end, with predictable results every time. Anytime someone starts thinking of seizing power for themselves, like Wilbur Soot did in the early days of Manberg, and like Quackity's done more recently, it'll
Wait, it was
end
just called
predictably,
Manberg?
with Jay Schlatt conniving some
the
scheme
fuck?
that results in him returning to the game and him eventually sitting on the throne, with the people around him being forced to do battle against the very monster they helped to create. Much like the Joker in The Dark Knight, his real power
the
hinges on his
fuck?
ability to bring out the worst in others. And the only way for him to lose is for the people around him to allow their better selves to take over. Until then, Jay Schlatt will continue to be a relentless force, delivering
just
karmic
alcoholism,
irony upon
actually,
those who
Matthew.
think they can use him as a puppet. But hey, that's just a theory.
I think that's the real corruptor here.
Thanks for watching.